nicer, sort of like standard teas.
Mm.
Okay. I'm ready to rock. Axe, are you ready to rock?
Yeah.
Ben, you ready to rock?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. Actually, I assume you started recording
Yeah,
since like 20 minutes ago.
12 minutes ago already.
Yeah, very good. All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the King's Court podcast. In this corner, we have Brandon, the king. And in the other corner, we have...
You have Axel, and I have been just suffering from like post-world depression for like the last week.
what does that consist of?
Me being sad that I'm no longer with my friends all the time.
That's really funny because I remember taking the trip in April and you're like, maybe I cut this trip in half because my social battery. And now you're like, oh my God, no, my friend.
April?
We
No.
converted you. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. And I'm like, no, stay longer. It's going to be our birthday. Stay longer. And you're like,
I mean, kinda. You're a lot sometimes.
And today we have a very, very special guest. I'm so pumped for this one. I mean, I'm pumped for all of them, but like this was going to be my first guest, and we finally got him on the pod. Mr. Long Hair Don't Care, the surveyor, Ben's in the building.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, also known as kikai to some people.
That's true. Yeah, that's also fair. Kikai in the building. Yes, indeed. All right. I guess we'll start with saying congratulations on your run at Worlds. 5th in the world. How does it feel?
Yeah, thanks. It's good. I think I'm happy with 5th. I was going in, like, my goal was to make day 2. That seemed like a reasonable goal. And then, like, as the tournament got closer, that started to seem more and more challenging, let's say. So, like, if you told me I was going to make day 2, I would have been happy. Told me I was going to make the top cut, I would have been super happy. And, 5th is, like, it's great. You get the mat, you get the deck box, you get all the wonderful alt arts. You get to play on stream, which is great fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I am happy. And like I got super lucky in a lot of the games that I won, but I do feel like the games that I lost, I feel like I could have won some of the games that I lost. So there is a part of me that is like, yeah, I did really well, really happy with 5th, but there is a part of me that's like, oh, like if I just dug a little deeper, if I just dug deep, like maybe I could have done just a little better. So
left a little on the table.
Yeah, there's almost like a missed opportunity of like, oh, I got so lucky in some of these other games to get to this position that like maybe I could have just taken it just a little bit further. But like, how can you be sad? Like 5th is a great position, and my last game, the game I went out on, the game against Bowsley, which was on stream, was just such an incredible game to go out on. That it's very difficult to be sad with that.
Mm.
Very good.
Yeah, I remember at some point wishing for your downfall, especially when you were playing against like Ice Cream College. I remember I just watched like a couple of the last turns of both games, where it was like incredibly close.
Yeah, so Ice Cream College was playing. I played 2 games against Ice Cream College, one in Swiss, one in the Top Cut. Both of them were Sable into a Yuko. Mm-hmm. This was like a Regenesis Oppo a Yuko. Mm-hmm. I also played Sable into Davs' a Yuko, which is the same a I'm on, which is the full sleeve one. And it's really interesting because like I know that matchup because I play the Yuko, which is the best way to like practice against the Yuko is to play as the Yuko. So I know what they're doing, I know what their outs are, I know how to like safely navigate the matchup for the most part and to close out their outs. Mm-hmm. So like I've got No Free Lunch, I've got Hannah, like these are the tools we need. And even so, even knowing that in all 3 games, especially the games against Ice Cream College, you sit there and you go, right, I'm safe, I'm good. And then you realize that you aren't. You realize that you aren't. You realize that like the AUCO can always find a way to create a situation that forces you to interact in a way that is not safe. And so like it always comes down to on this like last turn, before they like oppo you and then you're just out. You're like, can you find all of the points that you need, like in 4 clicks to just close the game? Because if you can't, like, that's it. It's game over.
Yeah, Oko definitely one of those decks that like generates kind of interesting games, at least to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Even like as someone who played Alco crowded servers, it's just like, oh yeah, like looks like it's not my round, and then I guess they're dead. Like this is somebody that it's just like and it's funny because I like you look at your hand and you're like, oh, this is sometimes it's just bad, like sometimes it's just awful, but what you have as your board just creates havoc for your opponent's mind. And on their end, they're like, "Oh my god, this is the worst position," and you're like, "Oh my god, this is a pretty bad position for me." But like, and it's always good to remember that you're putting pressure on your opponent. And they have to solve the puzzle, and you're just you'll get through it. And it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, there was at least one game in Swiss with the AUCO that I won that I had no business winning. And it was like I'm looking at the board and I'm like, cool, I'm cooked, right? I'm cooked. There's no way out. Like, there's no way for me to like find the win here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put bite on the table, and we're just going to hope that the runner. we're just gonna try and like get the runner to run it at a really bad time, so like click 2 or click 4. And they did. They ran at click 4, and that was it. Like that was. I had no business winning that game, right? But
yeah. God, it's interesting because I think I told both of you this, but like, yeah, it was just a sign in Crown of Servers where it was like they're giving out these hollow bites. I'm like, all right, this is a sign. They're going in the deck, and we're gonna get some people. But yeah. So
my first game in Crown of Servers, I'm running against Motion Blur, and like they're on RH, and I'm playing the Sable, and I've only just pivoted to the Sable, so I'm really grateful for the RH practice because I realized that I haven't tested against RH at all, and this could be a bad matchup for me. And there's 2 Fujis out. There's one, I think, on either side of the board. One Fuji scored, one Fuji stolen. And I run HQ and I sweep HQ and I see Fuji bite. And I just lose, right? Because I've only got 4 cards in hand. Because I'm criminal. Was probably a bravado run, something like that. And I'm like, cool. This is gonna be bite better, right? This is gonna be the bite worlds. That's what this is gonna be.
So Kikai, I want to take it back to the beginning. How were you playing other card games? Like, how did you get into Netrunner? What kind of was your experience like with that? And I guess if you don't mind sharing, how long ago was that? When did you get into Netrunner?
Oh, sure. So I used to play. I guess I used to play Magic when I was a kid. Really, like I never really played it seriously. I went to like 1 or 2 tournaments as a kid. I didn't really know what was going on, and then we just play it casually, I guess, with friends. But I'd always been interested. I loved Cyberpunk growing up, and a friend of mine knew that I was interested in Cyberpunk and Netrunner, although I never played it. And a friend of mine, when the FFG release of Netrunner came out, a friend of mine bought it over. That was back in 2012. We played a couple of games. He didn't really like it. He didn't gel with it, so he just left the core set with me. But I liked it. I got into it. I started playing on Octagon. I was terrible, but I kept playing. And then I guess a few years later, I worked at. I used to work at a games company. I used to work at Jagex that does RuneScape, and so there was a lot of gamers there. And someone put on the forum there that was anyone interested in playing Netrunner? I was like, absolutely, I'll play some Netrunner. And then through them, it turned out that there was actually quite a big Cambridge scene for Netrunner. So we used to have pub runner meetups that would be like 16 people. Like we used to run G and Ks in the pub, and there would be like 16 to 20 people there. This would have been back in, I guess, 2014, something like that.
Wow.
So that was my in into starting to go to tournaments. Like through that, like some people there would be like, "Oh, there's a tournament in London. We should go to that." There would be tournaments closer to home, so we'd start going to these smaller tournaments, and then this was about the time FFG started to do the European Continentals. They used to do them at UK Games Expo. So like a bunch of us, we would be like, okay, we're going to go to UK Games Expo. We're going to go and play there. And that was really it. That was it. Once you go to like these big continental tournament, there's kind of no going back. It's kind of like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing now. I'm now going to travel the UK to go and play in these tournaments because this is a lot of fun and these people are cool and, you know, I want to get good. And so, yeah, just kept going to tournaments. This is my second Worlds. Third Worlds. I did Rotterdam, did Barcelona, and then did Edinburgh. But I think I've been to like most of the UK nationals for a while, like a number of the continentals.
You were in Rotterdam.
Wow. That was the
I-
first NSG Worlds. That was great. That was good fun.
Yeah, like it's. Oh, wife saying bye. Bye. I guess we can edit that, or you can just have the raw.
Whatever
Oh,
works.
goodness. All right, back to the action. Yes, it's so funny how many people were at Rotterdam, and because I was just like, I didn't know nearly as many people as I know now. It's like, wow, all of us were in the same place at this one time, but I'm only actually meeting you like 2-3 years later. Okay, so those times, 2014, you're into the game, you're playing, you're having, pretty sizable meetups, going to continentals. Like, when did it start to be, like, would you say you were competitive driven then? Like, looking for placements, or were you just going to tournaments, having fun with your friends, and you get to play some Netrunner? Like, when did it become kind of a bit more serious to, do well?
Yeah, so like it was always playing to win, like always. Or playing, but a lot of that was playing to get good because I really wasn't very good at Netrunner for a really quite a long time. It took me a long time to figure out how to play Corp. Like there was a real lag. Like Runner, I could figure out. Runner was like the Corp setting the puzzle. I need to solve the puzzle. I got that. But the whole setting the puzzle as Corp took me ages to figure out. It took me a long time to figure out that my strength as the Corp is the information disparity. It's the fact that I know things that you don't know, right? And I can leverage that information disparity to cause you to play inefficiently and to make a mistake. Yeah, it took a while for that to click. I think when it did, and also part of that, part of the problem as well was like in Cambridge, we were Wayland gamers. We loved Wayland. We played loads of Wayland. And this was at a time when the best Wayland code gate was Enigma. Like it was rough. It was rough to be playing Wayland back before sort of Terminal Directive, before Red Sands. So that actually, once Terminal Directive came out, and we got Horton, we got Mozlus, and Red Sands came out, we got Audacity, we got these tools, and that meant that Wayland was a lot more playable. And I needed that. I needed the card pool to come to me a little bit in order for me to like actually start to get really good on the Corp side. And so that was when I started. That was my first cut, I think, was back in the Red Sands Terminal Directive side of things. That was the first playmat I won. That was at regional, Hockley Regional. And so from there, it was like, okay, now we can start going, okay, now we can start looking at the meta. Now we can start looking at what's good and what isn't good. And now we can start talking about like trying to make top cuts rather than just trying to like get wins, if that makes sense.
So would you say that that's probably around what, 2015, 2016ish?
Yeah, I'm just going back through my deck list and trying to think. I think it was like 2016, something like that.
I think like Red Suns came out in like 2017. 2016 was the peak Mamba point.
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
2017, that's right. Like Hockley Regional 2017. I was playing Andromeda, which was great because this was like Estelle Moon's time. So
Ooh,
like Andy
Yes.
Moons is just like a great matchup. It's so much fun.
yeah.
It is a lot of fun.
And then I was basically playing Argus, but I wasn't playing it in Argus. I was playing it in Scorpios. So it was but it was a rush deck with very small ice, and then my favorite kill package of all time, which is you got one Scorched Earth, one Boom, one Archive Memories, one Consulting Visit. So like you've got this super flexibility to be able to kill from like different amounts of tags, and but yeah, we played it in Scorp, not as a ruse, but because like I was really worried about Siphon Anarch. And so I thought, okay, well, if I play in Scorp, you can only siphon me 3 times, right? Because I'll burn the siphons as you play them. But I guess it probably did get me some free wins in Swiss just as a ruse, because if you sit down across some Scorpios, you aren't expecting to get hard hitting news. So, but
Right.
not that anyone was playing
Yeah.
Argus back then either.
Oh, really? I thought Argus was like good for the entire history of Argus or something. I guess not at the start.
No, it had been previously. I think like previously, Modernism Wayland was kind of the only Wayland you could play, but it would like fall out of favor. I think at the time, Sync was really popular.
Okay, sure.
And Aaron Moron, worth saying, Aaron Moron was in the card pool.
Okay, fair enough. Like, yeah, Tyke Killer probably not the best idea then.
No, like I'm looking at this deck list now. It's got MCA Informant in it, which is like, yeah, tell me Aaron Moron is in the card pool without telling me it's in the card pool, right? Like it's and like Hunter Seekers as well. Not because we're rig shooting, just to kill Aaron Moron.
Hunter Seeker Aaron Moron is kind of sounds really funky.
Yeah.
So how was your time with the game? Like, you you're knee deep in, and I assume like the UK, they really like their yellow, and so like kind of navigating through Stink, CTM, I guess NEH, like how was that?
Yeah.
For you.
So I think they really liked assets, I would say, more than they liked NBN. Although the two tend to they went hand in hand for a long time. So they loved Estelle Moon, right? They loved moons. And you're right, and they did love CTM. But I've always enjoyed running into asset decks. Even the CTM, there's a sort of like barrier to entry. Like you have to play like 3 or 4 games into CTM before you can even start to play the game into CTM. But because there's a few things you need to know, and there's a few kind of like very early on, like turn 1, 2, 3 failure conditions that you have to avoid, or you don't even get to play the game. I'll be honest, it's pretty similar to Epiphany right now. I think Epiphany has a similar thing, whereas if you don't know what to mull keep and you don't know what to do on turn 1, 2, and 3, you don't even get to play. But if you do know those things, you do get to play the game. And I think as the runner, it can be really interesting because the court presents you with decision points pretty much every turn. And so if you can navigate through those decision points, you are usually rewarded with a win. But if you can't navigate through those decision points, then the corp can usually find a way to deny you any opportunity to get anywhere. And I really like that as a runner. It was a while before I didn't play CTM myself for years, like until like for a long, long time. But I used to love playing into CTM, which is a bit odd, but there you are.
Yeah, not the usual asset hater.
Okay, that's like I feel like not most people's experience through that time.
Yeah, no.
So it's good to hear this perspective.
And look, I get it. I get it. Like I played a game into Epiphany at Worlds, and I misplayed my turn 1, and from that the Epiphany started to like snowball. And I will be honest, I checked out of that game. Like I completely checked out of that game. because it's like it just was like I don't get to play anymore. I misplayed my turn one, and now I don't get to play this game. So I get it. I get why people don't. A lot of people don't enjoy playing into assets. Yeah, look, I'm glad that, for example, I'm glad Amani Sanai is rotated. Like, I don't think there are certain like kind of like asset deck enabling cards that I think are problematic and not great for the game. Like maybe they're too swingy or they snowball too hard. But I think when the balance is right, and I think the AUCO is approaching that right balance. I think that can be Netrunner at its best. The runner has a lot of decision points. They have every opportunity to navigate through and find the win. I like it. I like it.
What was the first tournament you ever won?
Oh, that's a. I think it was probably quite recent. You know, like I think I'd won some store champs. Maybe I have to go to my ABR page. I don't think I'd won a major tournament until recently. So the Hockley regional, I came second. I lost to Chris Dyer, who was the reigning world champ at the time, I think. So that felt pretty good. Like I was pretty happy with that. But like I don't think I won a major tournament. Like won. The goal is always to make the cut, I think. I think setting the goal of like, oh, I want to win this tournament. There are so many things when you like once you're in the cut, there are so many things that are out of your control, that are out of your influence. There are so many things that can go wrong. They're like, well, you should always try and play your best. Like it's not necessarily a very helpful goal to be like, I want to win this tournament. So like setting a goal of like, I want to make the cut, I think is very reasonable. Or for Worlds, I want to make day 2. I think these are perfectly reasonable constructive goals. But like, I don't think I ever won a major tournament until the CBI, like until the start of this year.
Yeah.
You won some regionals, right? Last year?
Yeah, but those are after CBI.
Yeah, I was on a heater, like after the CBI. So I won CBI, and then I won London districts, and then I won Nottingham districts. So like I was on a bit of a heat at the start of this year. Yeah, but before then, I don't think I'd won any major tournaments before then. Like beyond like store champs or circuit openers. I won a handful of store champs actually, like Chatteris a couple of times. I think 2 years running I won Chatteris, but that was a very small store champ. Stevenage, I think I won. I think that was online. I think it was a bit bigger, like 30 people maybe.
Yeah, I feel like UK is probably the most difficult spot to like actually win those major tournaments, like districts or megacities or nationals or anything, when there's just so many people playing the game there.
Yeah, districts this year was London in particular was a mess. Like London district at the start of this year, there were so many game losses that were handed out for like deck list errors or play errors, because like this was, and it was like a 50-person tournament, 40-person tournament, something like that. Like it was a big tournament, but it was the first tournament of the year. People were rusty. Like I was coming in with the Anakam Crucico, which was very good, but I was also coming in with this op deck that I was still cooking and I hadn't tuned. And like it turns out I'd removed all of the cards that give it any resiliency against Esser. I basically just forgot that Esser existed, and then I showed up to the tournament and went, oh yeah, Esser exists. That's a problem. Okay, good. Like I know what changes to make my deck now once this tournament is over. So yeah, London was it was a lot of fun, but it was a bit of a mess. But yeah, all the UK districts were like 40 people plus, like 30-40 people.
Yeah, basically sized to like normal Europe's like megacities and stuff.
Yeah, there was it. Yeah, we got that a bit. Yeah, I don't know. There's a combination of things there. One is I think we could probably, the UK TOs. I don't think this is controversial. Like I think we as UK TOs kind of misunderstood the new calendar, calendar format. We and I think Whiteblade talks about this. Like because I don't think we're alone in this. We understood. We read districts as regionals when we should have read them as like circuit openers or store champs, right? That kind of level of play, and then mega cities would be analogous to regionals. So that's part of it. And the other part of it is Netrunner is just really popular in the UK.
Yeah.
Like people in the UK love to play Netrunner, like, which is great, which is a really nice problem to have. But it means that events, even what you might think of as small events, end up being quite stacked.
Yeah, definitely like suffering from success there.
Yeah.
It's a great problem to have.
So on the timeline you're going through really 2017, you're doing well, all that's really good. Come through 2017, rotation, all that good stuff. Not good stuff, we hate rotation. But and then 2018 game dies, quote unquote. Where were you at then? What were your feelings like? Is it like were you playing still, or were you like, okay, I'm done with this, and you made your way back? Like, how did that go down for you?
Yeah, so that sucked, right? That sucked. As I remember realizing, like, the Rain and Reverie set symbol was an Omega side, and being like, oh, this is not good. Like, this is not good. And so, like, I had to look around for, like, other games to play. I looked at L5R, and, like, I'm looking at it going, like, okay, cool, these, like, regions that you're putting on your board and you're contesting over, they're a bit like servers, right? There's some hidden information. We don't know what regions they are. And then I actually watch people playing the game, and I'm like, nah, this is not, this isn't it for me. I can't play this. I looked at Kill Team. I don't know if you know Kill Team. It's like,
Yeah, like the
yeah,
Warhammer game.
yeah, the Warhammer game, but like you play with a little squad. Because when I was a kid, I played Necromunda, and I loved Necromunda. So like, I didn't want to get into like full blown 40k, but like something that was like a squad shooter. I thought I could maybe look. I looked at that, but then I was like, oh, I can't be bothered to paint these miniatures. Just sat in a box in my loft for a while. But I remember playing in Brighton, probably it was a regional or something like that, and we knew at the time the game had been cancelled, and so that things would be wrapping up. And I remember going to the pub with people afterwards, because Brighton's got or used to have a really strong UK scene. Like a lot of the process were from Brighton or Brighton affiliated. And so chatting to the process down there and saying like a community effort could work, like not that it would guarantee to work, but like I don't know if you know Doomtown, the Deadlands card game had a community effort that was really successful. And so there was kind of like hanging on to the hope. I kind of felt like if any card game can do it, can survive with a community effort, it would be Netrunner. And my thinking there was kind of like twofold. One was this card game is incredible. There is no other card game like it. I've gone and I've looked for another card game that is anywhere near as good as this game, and I cannot find it. And the other part is that for a while, Netrunner in the game dev world, Netrunner was spoken about as the game devs' golf. It was the thing that game devs talked about with each other when they weren't talking about game dev. And so you're like, if people, my thinking was, okay, well, if you've got people from that world, the world of game dev, not just devs and designers, but also like organizers, like people who know how to build an organization and how to make an organization work. If those people want to keep the game alive, then there's a really good shot of actually managing to do it. And I think I don't know firsthand, but I think broadly that's what happened. That's how it seemed to me from the outside. Like I was blown away by, in the very early days, the decisions that were made in order to prioritize keeping people playing the game. So I think like very early on, a new ban list was put out, and then like price support, like, and it wasn't the most fantastic price support in the world, but that wasn't the point. The point was like it was something, right? It was something that went out there to get people to keep organizing GNKs or small tournaments or what it was. And so like I was really impressed by like the ability of the people that were involved in the very early days of NSG, what was called Nisei back then, to prioritize those things that needed, those decisions that could be made quickly and those things that could be done quickly in order to keep people touching cardboard and playing the game. And I mean, from there, the longer term decisions have been made, and we are where we are now, right? Like, this was the first World Championship where we were playing exclusively with NSG cardboard. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. It's not a surprise, I don't think, that we've managed to keep the game alive with a community effort, but it is very much appreciated. Like, it is excellent, and we should celebrate it, I think.
I just want to note that I played with NSG paper.
Not cardboard.
Nope, just proxies. Just paper.
Oh, you played Worlds with all proxies. That's cool.
Yeah, all black and white proxies.
I've been doing that for a while now. Like, so I will like buy the sets and obviously like support. But it's just so much easier for me to just okay, this is what I want my deck to be, cool, print it. It's just so much easier.
Yeah, especially if you're flying, right? Like,
oh yeah, like there's so many times where I'm like, person on the other side, do you mind making these decks for me? It's like I used to back in the early days. I used to spend hours on this. Like I mean, it's a CCTV, but in the UK that's very different. But it's basically this monitor with like a tray at the bottom, and like you put things under it, it blows it up like really large. I used to spend hours trying to find cards, make decks. Like it just was not. No. Yeah, it was not the way. It really, really wasn't the way. But
yeah, then you get some asshole building your deck completely wrong. And
I mean, you know who you are.
Is that a thing that happened? No, we don't have to go into it. Okay.
No. Oh, no. It's funny. It's hilarious. Like, so Axu, like we're all. It's the UK Nats last year. We're all staying in the Airbnb. We're coming. Okay, so I'm playing. You remember Kikai? You oracled for me the mulch deck.
Yeah.
And so we're all there. We're gonna play, and Axu's playing Ag Infusion. And I'm playing the mulch deck, and it's not till we get to 2 cards left in the deck that we realize that there's no imps in the deck. And I'm like, where's the imps? Axel's like, what do you mean imps? There's no imps in this deck.
Oh no,
like, bruh, I'm playing mulch. What are you talking about? Like, it's not like Axu hasn't oracled this for me. Like, you know what I mean? It's it just forgets the one of the central core pieces of the deck. It's so funny.
Oh no.
So that was definitely a hilarious thing. But no, there's just been like, I think for everyone, it's just always important to, whether you make it yourself or not, or whatever, you just deck check quickly and make sure you got everything. It's thing you should do.
There are many very cool things about NSG and about the way that this card game and the community is developed, but the barrier to entry on competitive play being as low as you can possibly make it is incredibly cool. Like the fact that you don't have to own any of the cards. Technically, you can just show up and have your deck printed and then just go and play some Netrunner is amazingly cool.
Yeah, like literally I don't own any of the cards, and I just like proxy everything. And
shame.
Yeah, it has like actually turned me off like other games where I'm like trying to get into them, and I just look at the price of the deck list, and it's like, oh, I just cannot like proxy everything and just go play. I have to first like play the secondary market game.
Not here, you don't. And that's really, really cool. So, okay, so we're beginning of 2019. Game is alive. Did you? Very random question. Did you play any crowdfunding, Haley?
Did I play any crowdfunding, Haley? Not that I remember. I didn't play Shaper for a long time. Why crowd? That's very specific.
It just, one of my young memories of just being haunted, like the game's still alive, but it's like Aesop's crowdfunding Haley, and that shit just like, like Mati was still legal, so you just like try to rush, buy like thimble rings and things like and whatever. But like, God, when that engine got going, it was so problematic. And that wasn't even the best engine. It was just what was some of like a deck that was played in Toronto at the time, and it was just like, oh my god, like it was rough.
Yeah, I don't have strong memories of. I can't even remember how long crowdfunding was legal for. I remember playing crowdfunding Anarch.
Yeah,
Crowdfunding is very much my jam. This idea of I'm going to be rewarded for making runs. That's very much my jam. But like
I
that
remember.
card's kind of busted.
Kinda,
Yeah.
kinda, just a bit. I remember a person playing. Remember that current that you named a card, and if they played that
Targeted
card, you got like
marketing.
targeted marketing. People were playing like triple targeted marketing for crowdfunding. That was wild. It was crazy. So okay, so we're 2019 playing, doing well, and you mentioned that you were in Rotterdam, and that was your first Worlds. How did that go? What did prep look like? Who were you testing with at the time or playing with at the time?
Yeah, Rotterdam was great. So a bunch of us from Cambridge. I can't remember how many. I want to say like eight, nine, 10 of us maybe. We all took the train over to Rotterdam. We all stayed in a hostel, so like in bunk beds, and like we all went together, and that was great. That was really good. That was like we didn't call ourselves a testing team because back then there was only three testing teams, right? Or
Right.
two, or maybe even two. I don't even know if the process was technically a thing back then, but like there was like Snare Bears and there was NWE, right? And but we were friends. We were playing Netrunner together. At the end of the day, that's basically what a testing team is. And we traveled out there, and one of us did well. One of us, Hotclaw, made it eighth, made it into the top 16, playing Argus and Haley actually. But the rest of us, we just had a good time. I didn't make day two. I don't know that the rest, and I don't think any of us made day two. I do remember like we played day one, we had a good time, and we went, okay, great. We're gonna go to the venue on the beginning of day two, and like I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're not gonna play any more Netrunner because like we played a lot of Netrunner. So like we'll go and we'll play a board game, what have you, and we get there. We get there, and Serenity's like, "Do you want to play in a pod?" We're like, "Yeah, we'll play in a pod." Like immediately, like it's the first thing that happens. Is we get there and we immediately start playing more Netrunner.
Amazing. That's how it goes. It happens to me a lot. Tournament's done. Okay, I'm good. And then I find myself like playing more. It's like, oh my god.
Game's
Do you
good.
remember what you
What
played?
can I say?
Yes, game is very good. Do you remember what you played?
Oh, it would have been. It was Criminal, and it was a really bad Wayland deck. Like what Criminal was I playing? I bet it was like 419 or something like that. But like I think the Wayland deck was like Blue Sun. It was bad, man. It was not good. Yeah, I was playing a really reg 419, and then I was playing. It looks like Marcus Batty Blue Sun.
That's
Oh, that's right.
surprising.
I made a meta call. I made a meta call. Do not make a meta call. Going into the biggest tournament of the year, do not make a meta call. But I made a meta call that everyone would be playing Crim, and therefore I wanted to play Rig Shooter, I think is what happened.
Really?
Yeah,
Even though like K-pop Anarch was just kind of like the rage and like
Epoch Anarch, stealth, smoke, stealth, Haley, everything.
I faced zero Criminal
Oh
at that
no.
tournament.
paper was good. Like, okay. All right. All right. So 2019 finishes up. things are going well. And then, the world's plunged into darkness.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, talk about that.
Oh, what is there to say? Like, we kept it. Like, shout out to all of the TOs that kept it alive during that. Like, particularly Navi. Navi ran loads of online tournaments. But I mean, what can you do? Like it sucked. Online tournaments would happen. I didn't think there'd never been an online tournament scene before that, right? It was only out of that we got like the online tournament Discord and all like the processes and procedures for how you run a tournament online kind of like came to being. And now it's just bread and butter, right? Now we have AMTs every month. We have like these bigger online tournaments that Man in the Moon runs, and we have the CBI, like, and now it's just kind of like normal. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing. But like for me, I'm not a big fan of online tournaments. I don't play in them very often. I much prefer in-person play. But what can you do? It sucked. Like you say, we're all in darkness. Like you take what you can get. There's an opportunity to play card games with your friends. You play card games with your friends in whatever format that takes.
Yeah, like this is gonna sound so bad because the world was plunged into darkness. I was brought into the light, which is unfortunate. But I think one thing that the pandemic did do and establishing everything online is that like before I was really just I was stuck in my meta. Like I was kind of, and so like if your meta was kind of your meta, or if your meta didn't have a person who is big time who like brought things back into your meta, you were, now we did have some fairly good players and who had, connections and whatever, but like I was kind of like I didn't really know many people, so I was stuck kind of playing the decks that my meta wanted to play or play against the decks. So if there's some new deck I never played against, but my meta doesn't play it, I'm screwed. Like I know no lines, I know nothing. It's just like god. And as a newer player, that's like was also like harder. And then pandemic happened, and I just like I just started to expand. Like I was in every Discord I could be in. I'm like any random G&K somebody was having or whatever. If I could sign up and find an Oracle and be in it, I'm in it. It also spread the word about like, Oracling and things like that. So that was huge. And I was just able to really play against a lot more people that had different ideas about the game and played different decks. A lot more people who were, frankly, just better than me. And, there was a lot of like growth, even though, it was bleak all around. That was kind of the one thing that like, I was just able to, like meet a lot more people on that because we're just kind of forced to be online. But did you find for yourself? I mean, obviously, you had Cambridge and you knew people around the UK, but did you find that you were able to connect more to people outside of that sphere?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, I mean, you're right. The pandemic did not help that. Like, the pandemic was another like it basically killed the Cambridge meta. Like, we stopped weekly, because once the weekly meetups stop, trying to start the weekly meetups again is very hard. Once people stop playing the game, it's actually quite a lot harder to get them back into playing the game. That being said, I'm very grateful to get an invite from Council. I can't even remember why. I think we just played on JNet Casual, and I had known Council previously from meeting them at UK Nationals a few times. So like we did have like a history of like we'd met each other in person and that. But I get an invite to like Council was like, hey, I'm setting up this testing group. Like, are you interested in joining this testing group? And so like that was a great thing, right? Because I mean this is how you and I met. This is how I met Bridgman. It's how I met soccer. It's how I met I would never have met and connected with you and all of these people if it hadn't have been for that, right? And so I think you're right. There are some positives. There are some positives that came out of the darkness and came out of that period, right? Like,
Yeah, I think like adding to that as well, it's like, you know, the game just like survived a death, a quote unquote death, and then through just like the most craziest time this century, maybe in I mean a really long like just the craziest event happened to the world, you know, and like I think for some, like I know for me, like Netrunner helped carry through, you know, like which you know is wild thinking back on it. Just like you know, some of my you know like what I would consider like lifelong friends like that I have now through Netrunner. It's just like in that time being able to you know as you called it cross pollination like that just it just wouldn't have happened. And yeah, what a time that was. So
yeah,
we're we're going through it, you know, and finally, you know, there's obviously like a part where it's like, oh, okay, people are starting to get out there again, kind of thing. It's iffy, wear masks, you know, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Like, when did you first get back out, like playing in person?
I think it was. I don't remember if this was the first, but Barcelona stands out in my mind because I remember getting a plane and being like, "Oh, I remember this. I remember getting a plane from the before times. Like this is normal." So there was a real sense of a return to normality
Mm.
on getting a plane to go to Barcelona and then going and playing in Barcelona. There may have been like small tournaments before that, but they don't, for whatever reason, they don't stick in my memory. But Barcelona does. That felt like a return to normality for me.
And that's 2023. So we're talking like pandemic time, 2020,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
feeling real again until 2023. Like that, it's wild, right? Like,
Yeah, I not
I mean,
thought
it's
of it like
5 years, kind of, almost.
yeah,
Jeez. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, a chunk. It's just like I say, the world we plunged into darkness. I'm not exaggerating. It was crazy, and it was just like, ooh, yeah, you don't feel normal till 2023, and even then, you know, you had a run in post Barcelona, right?
What do you mean?
I
Like
run in
about everybody
with
getting sick from Barcelona? Or?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I know, and I freaked out. I don't know whether I actually got COVID or not, but like I do remember like leaving Barcelona early because like I don't know, it didn't want to. It was just so weird. It was so difficult to make good decisions.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. It drives a lot of anxiety, right? For me, it did. I know that I'm not alone. I know a lot of people, not just like the pandemic, but also the lockdown, like drove a lot
Mhm.
of low level or general anxiety. And that general anxiety makes it real difficult to make good decisions. And so,
Mm.
but yeah, no, I did. I left the Airbnb early, right? I left pretty much straight away. I got on a flight the um, the day after the tournament finished, just because I was worried about that I might have caught COVID and I didn't want to spread it around and stuff like that. But
I
there is a positive from that though. Go on, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, there is a positive than that. That meant that I was then flying back on the same plane as a bunch of people from Cambridge and Norwich,
Uh,
Very good.
which is how EA Sports came about. It was on that flight back to Stansted. Um,
The birth of EA Sports. It's funny how everything is connected. I remember, I think it was, I want to say 2022, when I was like, yeah, we're just going to go do this. And I remember like being like, man, when they set me free, because
mm.
my whole thing was I was going to go on like a, like I was looking at, maybe for my 30th birthday, and when I mean 30, I mean like 60th birthday, of course. I was going to take a look at like going on a Mediterranean cruise and, do all that stuff. And I was so excited. And then we were plunged into the darkness and then I wasn't able to. And I remember just like being at work and like, because we were still like, we were an essential service, like still had to go to work, whatever. And like there's just all this vacation time that's piling up that you can't use, like you can't do anything with. Like it was just like, okay, cool. And it's interesting. It's like because people are like, hey, like how do you do all this traveling? I'm like, it was from like that time where it's just like, yeah, work, go home, work, go home, work, go home, work, go home. You know what I mean? And also I was doing some like work experience, so like I actually like wasn't working weekends, so I didn't have to like for anything that I wanted to do, like whether it was online or whatever, I didn't have to like book it off from work. So just vacation time piling up. And I remember like, oh my god, they finally like are letting us like go to Europe and do these things or whatever. And it was just in time for like go to German nationals and meet so many people, and then 2 months later just go to UK Nats and meet so many people and just have a good time. Like it was incredible. That 2022 is kind of when it was like, okay, we're back. We're out here. And like I'm gonna make the most of it. Like since then, I mean, I've probably been to too many Netrunner tournaments. And what I mean by that is just like, probably shouldn't go. Oh, kind of irrational. Okay, I'm going. And like, because I was like, I always remember like when we just couldn't do anything, and like, Netrunner was there, and I'm like, now that we're out and that, everyone was, I just want to meet as many Netrunner people. I'm gonna play as much Netrunner. I'm gonna go to as many places. And I just like, because I was always under the of like, I could always do that later, or I could travel there at some other point, or whatever. And then it happened, and then it was just like, oh, actually, you can't. So yeah, I like the story of it, like how you said, like, okay, this is when it felt normal again, because I definitely remember that. It's like, oh my god, we're back, and I'm gonna make the most of this. Holy smokes! Okay, so that takes us to 2023. One thing that I want to touch on, I'm just gonna call it your other self, even though it's your same self. It's you, but like, I want to talk about the surveyor.
Okay.
Tell me about the surveyor.
Okay. I guess EA Sports has been going for like a year or something like that. And we've got some really good results, like really promising results very early on. I think we went to UK Nationals within a few months of Worlds, and like we did far better than I expected that we were going to do. Like we got several of us into the top cut. It was just a really promising start, right? But it was just a start. We hadn't really done any of the things that beyond just being a group of friends that like playing Netrunner together. The testing team is also there, or can be there, for you to help each other to be the best Netrunner players that you can be. Right? It doesn't have to be that, but it can be that. And there was definitely an appetite within the group to do that. So like, but we had a really promising start, and then it was like, okay, now where do we go from here? And part of the where do we go from here was we've got some people that love spreadsheets, right? We've got some people that like doing data analysis. We started to like scrape data from different tournaments and put them together into a spreadsheet, and then look at what do these matchups look like. And we started doing our own internal record keeping and stuff like that. So part of that is like trying to build an understanding of the meta, but then also trying to like help each other to see where our blind spots are and see where are we good and where do we need to practice, etc., etc. I'm very keen on openness in general. I don't love secret testing teams that are like hoarding all of this knowledge and secret wisdom to themselves so they can use it for a competitive advantage. I would much rather like be open and share that. information with as many people as possible, because at the end of the day, I want to play a good game of Netrunner. Like, I just want to play as many good games of Netrunner as I can. And I want to win, but like, I would rather play a good game of Netrunner and lose than play a like one-sided game of Netrunner and win, if that makes sense. So there was someone shared in the EA Sports Discord, Rap and Nui's blog, one of the blog posts that they made, and I looked at it and I remember thinking I could do this. Like, I could write short form Netrunner content. I could write short form, like a few paragraphs, tournament analysis, and I could do it in like a newspaper style, because I like that style of like that kind of like tabloid journalism, kind of like it's dumb, but it's the puns, I think, is what I'm trying to say. You know, like the newspaper puns, like the stupid newspaper wordplay. There's something about it that is just kind of like, it just takes some of the edge off some of this stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I could do this. I could write some short form content. I could like just provide some some very high level analysis of what's gone on at a recent tournament, and I could put it out there. And my thinking was that would benefit the whole community rather than just like one testing group. It would get people, it might hold people's attention, it might capture people's interest, it might get people talking about Netrunner, which is a good thing. And my real goal there is like, if I can get people talking about Netrunner, and if I can like spread some awareness on what is happening in these tournaments that maybe are not local to you, maybe they've happened the other side of the world, in a very easy to digest way, what I can do is I can remove some of the anxiety around going to a tournament. Like if you've been out of the game for a little bit, or if you have, it's easy to feel intimidated, or it feel like there's a barrier to entry to go to a tournament, because you don't want to go to a tournament and not be aware of some deck that's doing something that you've never heard of before. And then the first you hear about it is because like you face off against it and you get rolled and you don't know what's happened. Right. And that I think is a bit of a barrier to entry to some of these tournaments, and can provide some anxiety and can like give people a reason not to go. And I just want to remove that reason to not go to a tournament. And so I'm like, right, we'll put this out there. We'll put this little short form content out there, and then we'll put some feelers out to see if people like it or not, if they connect with it, see if they do connect with it, see which bits they connect with, and like just treat it like an experiment. As soon as I put it out there, like the response was like overwhelming. Like the people, it resonated with people and they connected with it like immediately. So I'm like, okay, I got something here. Like we could like keep doing this, right? And we can keep iterating on it, and we can like figure out which bits of it people like, which bits of it are working. And it quickly became apparent that what people were really hungry for was data. People just love charts. They just love to see the numbers. So you're like, okay, we can automate a lot of this stuff. We've got these spreadsheets. You can just like pump the data in. You get these pretty charts out. We can split the charts into these articles. We can still do the newspaper style headline. We can still do like the summary analysis. And yeah, it's just gone. It's just gone and gone and gone. We just get more and more subscribers every week. It's become, what's it Whiteblade said, it's become an institution. I think I'm really proud. I think it's been a great success. I don't know. It's clearly not the only reason. Like tournament within the UK especially, but I think more broadly, tournament attendance last year was really, really, really high. And I don't think the surveyor is like the only reason for that, but I think it is I would like to think, and I'm pretty confident that it is one of the reasons why tournament attendance, particularly in the UK, was very high last year. You've also got, there's loads of other things, right? Regionals was also massive success in the UK. But I like to think that I had some part to play in that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you couldn't go around. You still can't like, oh my god, the surveyor said this, or oh look, it's cool, it's out. Like how many times, it was like, hey, like, do you know when that new surveyor article is coming out? Oh my god, I can't wait. I should be out soon. Like, just waiting for it. It was like, it still is, it's buzzing. And I mean, that was huge. I didn't see that one coming, and but boy, has it impacted the game. It's EA Sports. We've referenced them. That is the testing group you're a part of, and you mentioned that 2023 is kind of where that all got started. Do you want to talk more in detail about like how that came together and like where you're at now?
Yeah. So yeah, we're on a flight back to Stansted because some of us lived in Cambridge, some of us lived in Norwich. Like we'd all been at Worlds, so we're all flying back to the same airport. We happen to all be on the same flight, so we get talking. Historically, there's been a Norwich-Cambridge rivalry. um, I don't think it's. I don't think this is. I could be corrected on this, but I'm pretty sure it went something along the lines of Cambridge would go to Norwich, Cambridge would win the Norwich tournaments. Like, so there was like, you can understand it's a bit like a derby, right? Like we're very close together. A lot of the Norwich players had gotten back into the game, and then we had a load of new Norwich players who'd come in. Shout out to Cobra Bubbles for keeping the flame alive, and I think Not Yeti then popularized it as well within a bunch of new people. And so yeah, Norwich just has this really strong netrunner and active netrunner community now. I mean you've been there, right, Brandon? Like you came down on Elevation release day. And there was like, what, 20, it was like a weekday and there was 20 of us in a pub playing Elevation, right? It was a good time.
It was a holiday. It was insane. It was like the whole place was taking this off for a holiday. It was like Thursday and like we get to the pub at like 10 a.m. and we didn't leave we didn't leave there till like 11:30 p.m. I think we only left because we needed to like close down the pub, but also like because people needed to catch trains and stuff. Like it was, I've never seen anything like that. It was, I was like, Netrunner is just different over here in the UK. Woo.
But particularly in Norwich, like Norwich is like a hot one of the hotbeds. There are others, right? There are other very strong, but like hotbeds. But Norwich is definitely one of them.
Yeah, if you're ever going to go through the UK, play some Netrunner, please stop through Norwich. Like they do it big over there. They do it big over there. Like, woo! It was such a great time. Yeah, definitely. I know they say it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's worth going to the middle of nowhere to experience that.
Yeah, so like, look, we're super open and we're super friendly, and we just like playing Neverno. That's like, but we help each other. We help each other to get good, but we also help each other like we're friends, right? We help each other when we've got personal stuff going on. Like we're there for each other. We support each other. Like I've had a really like this year, particularly in competitive Netrunner. So while I was on a heater at the start of the year, I've not made a top cut since then up until Worlds. Like rotation hit me hard. Like I've been struggling to find the fun in playing Netrunner for most of the year, and they were there for me all the way through that. Right, they were there to like help with that. Like they're just good people. And they're very good at playing Netrunner, which is what happens when you go when every week without fail you are on a Thursday you are in the pub playing like 5-6 hours of Netrunner. It's difficult not to get good. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I'm super glad you brought that up. That's one of the things I want you to bring up was just like, yes, EA Sports is a testing group. You've heard of other testing groups, but the way that they test, the amount that they test, like and it's not like, oh, this is my job, It's not forced. It's not strained. It's just they have fun being together, playing Netrunner together, but it's really, really consistent. And if there's any team that like, I'm like they probably have the data. It's EA Sports because they online in person they really go after it.
yeah, I will say for Worlds especially. So there's been a few tournaments that we've got it wrong. Like I think I don't think anyone will mind me saying this. Like UK Nationals this year in Sheffield, we got it wrong. We tried too hard. We looked too much at the data. We tried to solve the meta. We tested too hard. We went too far down the rabbit hole, and it did not work out for us. That was tough. That was a tough tournament. On the flip side, when you look at Continentals in Cologne, we didn't do that. We played it loose. We kept things relaxed, and we did really, really well. And then Worlds was somewhere in between the two. We did keep it loose, but we had a testing spreadsheet. We had a couple of calls because we only had 4 weeks, right, between the ban list coming out and then like the World Championship. There was only 4 weeks to try and like adjust and just to figure out like what the new meta would look like, and only one major event. You know, we had a couple of calls to be like, okay, what do we think the top 3 corps are going to be at Worlds? What do we think top 3 runners, top 6? Like, but we weren't. It's like we weren't trying to solve the meta. We didn't come out of that going like, okay, this is the one runner deck we should be playing. This is the one corp deck we should be playing, and everyone should be playing it. Instead, it was just building this awareness of what we think the meta will look like, how we think different matchups kind of roughly look in terms of vibes, and like it meant that when you go into the tournament, we weren't super intimidated. We knew roughly what we expected to see, but it also meant that if any of us, like me, needed to pivot at the last minute to a different deck because they realized Seb can't beat LEO, it meant that we weren't doing that. It wasn't like this really scary prospect of being like, oh God, what am I going to play? What am I going to play? It meant that I could go to the spreadsheet, I could go to the Discord, I could talk to people, I could be like, how do we feel about this deck? How do we feel about this deck? Okay, Sable's looking pretty good. Okay, I think I can play Sable because I've played it before. What does the deck list look like? Yeah, so I think we found, for Worlds in particular, I think we did a really good job of being focused, of having the right conversations, of like putting an amount of work in, but not working it too hard. We still kept it loose. We still kept it relaxed. So yeah, it was good.
All right. So you don't know I'm going to do this, but I want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Okay. Hold your eyes. Don't look at this computer. I want you to name everybody in EA Sports off the top of your dome.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do like?
And if you forget anyone, they're going to hear about it. So you better remember.
Why? Like, that's such a feel bad thing to do.
No. Okay. This is definitely a meme. But what we really want to know is how many members are in it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot. So like, look, we're a group of people that like playing Netrunner together, and we live close together, so we get to play face to face with each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're super open and we're super like loose about the whole thing, right? Like, we're not like so yeah, there are quite a few of us. I don't know how many of us there are. There are like 20 of us, I guess. Probably less than that, like 16, 17 of us.
Yeah, around that mark. A good solid size testing group.
Yeah.
I had you going for a while.
That's it's because there's no like.
You just accidentally forget somebody. It's just me. That's so good.
It's just like there's no upside to me even trying to answer that question. It's just all downside.
Correct.
Like, because I'll forget someone, or sort of like I'll do it in a weird order, and then like, do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I know. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be such a good bit. I love this.
It's just causing drama.
Yep.
right.
Yep. In court drama. Is EA Sports looking for any new members?
I mean,
asking for a friend.
Apparently, they're getting like Germans and Swedish people now, so like they're spreading eastwards.
How it's east of Anglia. So look, Hogclaw and Saintis, they like studied in Cambridge. They're from Cambridge. They were part. When I was talking about the Cambridge meta, like back in the day, they were part of that. Like, I've been to tournaments back in the FFG days, up and down the UK. With them, right? So there is a pretty strong link there. back into Cambridge and into East Anglia. Paris is technically east of Anglia. Like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you there. And look, they like Daz and Nervous Nigel. They travel over to the UK like all the time. Like we meet up with them all the time.
Yeah.
And that's just really what it's about. It's really about being friends and prioritizing like in-person play. And but yeah, like are we open to new members? Like if you're in Norwich, you're in Cambridge, if you're in East Anglia and you're like actively playing Netrunner and you're going and you're traveling to tournaments, then come and like talk to us. Like just come and talk to us. It will just happen. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just go stalk Not Yeti at the pub and you will get in.
All right. My friend is packing their bags right now.
Your friend?
Very good.
Can I?
Yeah. I was asking for a friend.
Can I want to say something else about the Surveyor that's kind of related to this. This wasn't the original goal of the Surveyor, but I saw an opportunity while writing the Surveyor to do something, and I like to think that it worked, and I like to think that the Surveyor is like directly responsible for the explosion in the number of testing teams that are now around. Like, I love it. I love how many testing teams there are now. Like, I remember back when testing teams were maligned, right? If you were in UK Slack or anywhere else, I dare say, like, if you weren't part of a testing team, you would like grumble about the fact that testing teams existed because they would have the secret information and they would use it to competitive advantage. And it didn't feel fair if you weren't part of a testing team. It didn't feel fair that these other people like could benefit from having this insider information. And I remember always thinking, like, there's no way you can't get rid of testing teams because they are essentially, you're saying you're not allowed to play Netrunner with your friends, like, which is just a non-starter.
Yeah.
So like, I always thought the way out of this is not to get rid of testing teams, it's to do the opposite. It's to turn that shit up to 11 and just be like, we're going to have all of the testing teams. like we're going to have 1 million testing teams, which I think is roughly the place where we're at now. And I don't know, I kind of like to think that to some degree the Surveyor seeded the idea that you can just go and start your own testing team. Like if you want to be in a testing team, you don't have to go and join an existing testing team. You can go and just start one, right? And so there's an element of like giving people the idea and also giving people the permission that is a thing that you are allowed to do. Like it's not easy, it can be hard work, but like if that's what you want to do, like it's the thing. Go and find some like-minded people that you get on with, that you enjoy playing Netrunner with, and go and play Netrunner with them. Like, and make the effort to play as much Netrunner with them as you can. Like, travel to tournaments together and help each other out, and like be there for each other, and give yourself a cool name, and you know, and go and win some tournaments, and then we'll put your name in the Surveyor in the standings, and your team will be called out.
And then there's some times where it's like, oops, this person's in this testing group, not over here, or this person, you know, it kind of shifts sometimes. Not often, but sometimes.
Yeah, it happens. And we try and keep track. We try and keep track of who's in what testing team. And the best way to do that is we publish the article and immediately get a flood of messages being like, oh, this person isn't in that testing team, they're in this testing team. And it's like, okay, great.
Free starting information.
It's just the easiest way to like, as much as I like to get all the details and everything right, sometimes it's easier to just get it wrong and be corrected.
Favorite card or deck of all time on each side?
Oh, I mean, favorite deck is just easy. I mean, that's just easy. I mean, it's got to be the Iasmari, right?
How
it's got to be
fuck?
the like.
Sorry. Yeah, all right. Can you expand on that somehow?
It's just look. So fundamentally, it is a fun deck to play as. It is a fun deck to play against, as long as you know what's up. I have played specifically with Not Yeti. Like we have played into and as the Iasmari hundreds of times down the pub, because it's relatively quick. Like games would be over in 20, 25 minutes usually. So we would just jam that game over and over and over and over and over again. It never got boring. It was always fun. I could still jam it now. So there is that at the core. There is the fundamental. This is fun Netrunner. And there is the fact that we took it to Bergamo. A decision was made to keep the deck secret, which is always a bit for me. I'm always a bit I don't love secret decks, but it did add some drama to the event, which was great. But there's also an element of because we kept it secret, we were pretty sure that the deck was good in internal testing. But until you've actually taken it outside of the group and tested it against other players, there's every possibility that we were just stuck in an echo chamber. You know what I mean? That we were just actually the deck was garbage. There was just some runner that everyone else was playing that we just weren't playing, and that just crushed it. So there was always that kind of but it was super exciting to take it to Bergamo, to realize that no, this deck was a real thing and it was a monster. And so there's loads of emotion there tied up with it. There's this wonderful moment where Bergamo, our Airbnb, was below Tiebreaker's Airbnb, and yet he left the door of our apartment open, and we were in the middle of testing this deck. So I'm playing the deck, and John and Augustus walk through the front door into the Airbnb, and I have to do this thing where I'm making eye contact with them, holding their eye contact while I'm moving all of my cards off of the table and under the table, so they can't see what I'm doing. And then there was this whole thing where one of the so at the first UK regional, the process showed up playing the Asmari, which was there was a real vindication there. There was a real validation, the fact that they showed up with the deck. And I remember going and talking to them about it. And they were like, yeah, of course we played it. This deck is cracked and broken. But at the same time, you've got, even at the end, even once rotation had hit, typically, American players would they were like, this deck isn't real. This is not a real deck. Which I totally get. It's coming from because I had the same reaction when I first saw the deck being played. I was like, it's Neurospike Asmari. This deck just high rolls. And then I remember testing again, playing against it. And I remember that there were 2 or 3 of us on a call as the runner trying to figure out how to beat this Corp deck. And we couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, oh shit, this deck is real. It fundamentally fun Netrunner for me, as long as you know what's up on both sides. Really easy to jam games over and over again and have a good time. And also all of this emotion around it being a team deck and it doing really well and pretty easy.
I guess that's fair. How about the runner? Do you have anything for that?
Favorite runner? I did really like the Anakam Krushiko. That was a good deck. That was a lot of fun. My favorite runner deck? I don't know. I did also really like Andromeda. Desperado Andromeda was also a good time. It's difficult. It's difficult for me to pin down one runner deck. But those kind of I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna get rewarded for making good runs. And then we're gonna play a game of Netrunner off of that. Something in that space.
So 2 things. One, the other part of the story was that for some reason they threatened to, or they asked if you had any calderas.
John told us this afterwards, but they didn't. They were going to. They were going to come down and they were going to ask if they could borrow, if anyone had any caldera they could borrow, and they were going to do it as a psyop. They didn't know the thing. They didn't know that we were testing. It wasn't Neurospike at the time. It was Jibstad Grid.
Yeah.
They didn't know we were testing that. They were just going to come down and ask if anyone had any calderas that they could borrow as a kind of weird psyop. For whatever reason, they didn't. If they had done, we would have lost our minds.
Oh damn! Damn, we should have.
Because we're in the Airbnb below them and we were testing with the windows open a lot. So I was kind of vaguely aware that what we were talking about and saying could probably be heard by them or something. Yeah, if they'd done it, if they'd said that, I don't know how we would have. Probably it would have it would have been unsettling for sure. I don't know that we would have changed anything, but yeah, probably more of us would have played Neurospike instead of Jibstad, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. And I know you love the Asmari, but those Rush Off days, those Oaktown days.
I mean, yeah, I do love Oaktown. Oaktown was a great agenda for just playing Rush Ob. It's been quite tough to play. I found it quite tough to play Ob without the Oaktown. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know what? I really enjoy the Ayuko that I played at Worlds. Like that deck is a lot of fun. So I have enjoyed that.
You and I have a special Keeling bond.
No. I.
Do you remember me coming to you and being like, "Yeah, so here's the new crack thing. It's Keeling, okay?" And then we talked about it. We theorized, and you started building, and then you left, and then you came back, and you're like, "So yeah, I did a thing."
Was that Nanocivic Grid tier Keeling? Was it that?
Yeah, when it first came out, and then you I think you played Rotom, and like everyone was watching, and you came back, and you're like, yeah. So like they trashed the Keeling, and then I stuck another one in, and there's nothing they can do.
I don't know which of those two cards was more egregious, Nanocivic or Keeling. But they're both fundamentally they're both missing a guardrail, right? Keeling should not reduce your hand below 0, let's say, and Nanocivic should be remote only. It's so wild to me that Zato City Grid has this guardrail that says remote only, but Nanocivic doesn't. I mean, I can see, look, playtesting is hard. Dev and design is hard. I get it, but yeah, both of those cards were problems. They're just missing, like I say, both those cards, really interesting designs that were just unfortunately missing, I think, just a key guardrail that stops them from being problematic.
Keeling, you were fine the way you were, even though everyone was trying to change you. We miss you.
No shot. No way.
They still haven't let me visit you in jail.
You could play Eternal.
But I hope you're doing. No, that's not it.
Wasn't Keeling 4 to trash as well? Something like that.
Irrelevant.
No, not irrelevant. Highly relevant.
Yeah, you fight yourself, fight through everything to get there, and you still have to pay your life saving to get rid of it.
It's pad campaign money.
Yeah, Draco at least had the decency to be one to trash with Pinhole.
Keeling was, those numbers, everything was just. I mean, I always tell people when they talk about Keeling, I'm like, it was crazy, but we all deserved it, and now we've learned a lesson from that time, a good lesson that we all needed to learn. But Keeling was an absolute monster. When it doesn't feel good to pinhole a card, you just know. And you're the people then putting the worry trackers on it. Oh my god!
No.
Oh my god! That shit was.
And then you wonder why I call you evil. Come on.
You start putting Warroy tracker in your deck, I think just take a look in the mirror. That being said, this was the meta when endurance was legal, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you do what you got to do.
It was Woo Endurance World Share, okay?
Yeah, you do what you got to do. For sure. No judgment.
Yeah. And Rizeki, I think, it was a mess.
Yeah, Rizeki was a year gone at that point or something.
Just a mess.
It was, for sure.
Kikai, what's coming up for you? What do you got on the dock? Post Worlds, 5th at Worlds, congrats again. And I guess we have CBI at the beginning of the year, but What do you got planned for either the surveyor or next year tournaments or what's on the dock or any other surprises?
Yeah, I don't know. So we've got, like you say, we've got CBI next year. We've got Man in the Moon Showdown Invitational. I think
What is that again?
Mid-November. I think.
Mm.
I think it's mid-November. Yeah, November 15th, I think. So that should be fun. Then we'll have new cards. I'll probably run a Cambridge district, I imagine. That seems like a thing that I would do. But we're entering the off season, right? Like this is sort of like start to chill, start to relax, start to get excited about new cards.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you had a special surprise. You had an exclusive.
Exclusive scoop. So yeah, I guess I can announce. I'm running a. If Kikai remember, there was this like show match that we did between EA Sports and Tiebreakers.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember it went pretty badly for us. I remember I wasn't gonna play, and I'd had like half a bottle of wine, and then we were doing really badly, and I was like, "Tag me in." And then I lost anyway.
Yeah, I remember it ending like solid 4-1 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, but on the same vein, Tiebreakers is running next month a like show match series against like the Chinese Netrunner community.
Oh wow!
Because they apparently have a huge player base there. Like they had 60 people in their like async league right now, and nobody knows about their like scene at all. So like I have been reaching out with like the Chinese TOs with help of Wenjong. Huge massive shout outs to him. And they got like the 6 best Chinese players, and we're going to like find out like about their scene and stuff starting next weekend.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's called
wow.
It's called like Project Gunslinger, I think. Apparently, it was originally called like the Fight Club something. But apparently, like Torpedo Tires and OF1550 are running like a Fight Club event also. And like, I just got the news of this today. So we had to switch the name at last minute, but it should be like really awesome. It's going to be streamed on my YouTube channel, where you will be listening to this podcast. And I hope that it will be really cool and interesting. I think we will have like Chinese community members like come and talk about their scene and stuff. Because it's so separated and like still like massive.
Oh, hype! And that's all the matches happening on the same day, or is it spread out over several days?
Okay, so it's like there's going to be 3 shows happening. There's 2 double-sided Swiss matches every weekend, like next month, and we will find at the end like who has more points and declare them the winner. So it should be like cool stuff coming up entire next month.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I didn't even know about all this. Like, I knew there was I heard a rumor of like talking about doing it. I didn't even know it was like done and like ready to go and everything. And like, damn, so this is gonna be hype. Wow, breaking exclusive on the King's Court.
I have to download like WeChat and everything, and I was like, really like being like, what the fuck is this software? Like it's all in Chinese, and I had to like press the buttons, like figure out how to like actually like create an account there and stuff, because like they can't use Discord and shit.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
very good.
Everybody should watch out for that. Also, yeah, next month the Ultimate Showdown. I'm doing commentary for that, so shout outs to that as well.
Should be a good off season. That sounds like a great off season.
Also, there's coming the like off meta month is starting in December, so there's going to be hella cool events there. I'm probably trying to run like a modern quotation marks tournament, which is going to be like NSG only, but with a good ban list.
Shots fired.
I mean, have you seen the list on Neo? And by good ban list, I mean no ban list at all for the first event.
Lols.
Yeah, just trying to push it as like a more approachable Eternal format.
Very good.
So that's going to be hype. I hope everybody will. I hope that there will be a lot of different tournaments there for people to be invested in. I feel like this is maybe my favorite part of the season, where it's not standard.
I think you're like, you jumped off the wagon like very quickly and just started doing everything else. Yeah, putting in work. At least one fair. This will come out.
Oh yeah, we probably also. Do you want to talk about the Switch we're making on the like releasing thing?
Yes. Oh, yes. Another announcement. So, I think the live stream that we did was so hype, and just the raw emotion on that stream. I want more of that. So I think Wednesdays we'll do a live stream so that people it should be more interactive. People can ask questions. They can come on to the live stream and ask their questions and hang out and chat with us and all that stuff. That'll be cool. But also, it's less editing work for Actu. Want to keep him fresh. Not make him work too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Cobra Bubbles, for coming on with that fire. This sparked this idea. So I think this is going to be good. We'll still have our pods, and those will probably be, recorded a different day. But we'll have the Wednesday live streams. It'll probably be 3:00 Eastern time.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
So
UST or UTC.
Well, no, we haven't moved our clock back, but y'all in Europe have.
Yeah, 8 p.m. UTC, right?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, UK is like 0 UTC right now.
0 UTC right now, yeah. But that'll only be the case for probably like a week or two.
Sure. 8 p.m. UK time, everybody can figure out the math on their own.
Well, right now it'd be 7.
No? Oh, it actually would, yeah. Fuck.
See, you haven't even figured it out.
Whatever.
Kikai, this guy's a mess. Kikai, want to say anything about the tea?
About the tea?
About the tea?
Yeah. We were pre-game. We were talking about the tea, and I just want to give you time to talk about, because you said take tea pretty seriously over there. So if you want to shout out the tea you're having, tea people should try, anything about the tea, floor is yours.
I mean, so just Yorkshire Gold, clearly, but I got it in the MBN, the Truth You Need mug, which is an excellent S tier mug, especially if you're writing up, because I'm writing the world's surveyor article as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Yorkshire Gold in a NBN Truth You Need mug. It's top tier.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that there was a special mug. See, can we order any of these mugs? Are these mugs long gone?
This was part of the prize for Bergamo for being top 2 NBN, I think. So this is another Iasmari prize reward.
Need to get some UK prizing.
You can come over next year.
This was Bergamo. This was I don't know whether this was. I guess this was NSG to figure this out, or
no, Atienne, just Atienne.
Really?
Oh, this is
really good.
Atienne is the gold of pricing, basically. Atienne and Nick, I feel like.
Okay, I need some more Italian prize because, I think we've beat the altar thing to death, but
there's so many. I know.
I would love a mug. That'd be hype.
You could have gotten top 16 this year to get the big hug mug.
Yeah, I threw that in the garbage. I
Unlucky.
threw so hard But you know who didn't? Kika.
What I meant to ask, what decks did you play, by the way, at Worlds? Because you didn't play the Ayuko, right?
No, I played RH
Got it.
with Nisei Mark III.
Proper
is what I'm
negation.
calling
It's not so hard to say. If I can say it, you can say it.
As I said, Nisei Mark III. And little brother, you're not going to tell me what is hard and not hard to say, all right?
Shut up.
So I'm playing Nisei Mark III, and we played Halfred combo. And you would use so they'd run, you'd res, you'd blank like their doll, and then same window, bounce them into archives they can't check out. And like they'd hit Cloud Eater and like lose a lot of stuff, or hit them in the Sice and Taunt and try to kill them. That wasn't the whole deck, but that was like the cool part of the deck. Like,
Yeah.
Like Bridgman Soccer kept getting mad at me because I kept emphasizing that this is what you could do with the deck. And they're like, no, we want more stability and like whatever. And so they would like eventually come around to like the conclusions about the deck like I already kind of thought were reasonable. And I'd be like, man, it's like I'm not even here. Like I've said this thing like 2 days ago. And they're like, no, but it's the way you talked about it, because you talked about it in ways that were just like, oh, we're going to kill the runner. It's like, so like we needed to come to it on ourselves as that it was also stable. And I'm like, oh my God, fine. But like,
it was too showy for their natural instincts, right? They want like just give me raw numerical superiority, right?
Yeah. That's like the difference between building decks in tiebreakers and building decks in like the Ankh band, where you have a different approach.
Yeah, but had some profound negation, Halford fun at Worlds. It was good times. It really felt like playing Polana. It was just literally Polana at home. And so that was fun, just playing literally just reg ass net runner. It was cool. And then I played Doll's Hosh with like I folded and I was shook, and I played the gnome. I couldn't do just Hush, and I played the gnome instead, and I played triple pinhole, triple clean getaway, and double bravado, and I played a solidarity badge because it was hype for mean testing.
Did you play wheels?
Yeah, and I played wheels.
Yeah.
And then I played 2 Taka, 2 Mamie.
I'm gonna guess this is because tiebreakers weren't hot on the LEO.
No. We played like the card we played against that helped really in the LEO matchup was we played Arrow.
That makes sense. I've seen a few people talk about that. Playing Eru into LEO. I've not really thought about it before.
Rebirth at home. You just slap it down. Use your twinning. Hopefully steal a bunch of things.
Don't they just DRM the agenda anyway?
Yeah, they have DRM.
So that was my thing, was like I wanted to be very, which you're probably gonna be like, why don't you just play Crim? But I wanted to be very like have cards that just let me poke and really force the Leos to like res things and make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Without losing too much tempo of my own. So I felt like Cutstone was really good with that. Bravado was very good. Either early or late when I was going through ice, I would get the money back. Like that was very good. And I thought that was very strong. And I think because I wasn't worried about DRM for me, just because, and I guess you talked about it here where you're like, I don't really like the secretive things, but I think DRM is something that you would love to keep on the low if you could.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I know, gonna make sure that even if you don't ice HQ, I'll hit it once. Just to make sure. If I feel like there's an opportunity where if you DRM stick it in the remote, it's gonna be bad for me. So being aware of it ahead of time is fine. But I was
I played this. I pivoted to the Sable like on the Tuesday because of LEO, and like you say, quite often as Sable, you just like turn one Bravado HQ. Is just a great play. That being said, I lost both my LEO games in the tournament as Sable.
right.
So maybe I should have just played Sam. I don't know.
Well, I think you got a very good result. Like either way,
yeah, I can't complain at all. Yeah, like I did win all my other games as Sable pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess also I wanted more targets for Mamie that were bigger than just like one credit. So it was really nice when you like played a card, you hit an agenda, all of a sudden your Mamie's like at 2 or 3 the next turn, and then you're ready to go with another one that just cleans it off, So I felt good about that. But yeah. Kikai, is there anything else that you wanted to share that we didn't cover or that I didn't ask about or that you just thought of?
No, thanks for having me on. As always, just like a normal shout out to all of the TOs for keeping the game alive and for organizing tournaments. It is without tournaments, without organized play, I don't know that we'd have much of a game. And I don't think TOs get enough of a shout out. So like I'll take any opportunity to just like shout out and applaud all the wonderful TOs that we have and for all the effort, energy, and often their own money, right, that they put into organizing tournaments.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Shout outs to you TOs. And thank you for coming on, Kikai. It's been great, as I said. Much anticipated. I've been waiting for this, and thank you for all the laughs and insight and everything else. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You have any questions, you can ask, leave comments, that sort of thing. Remember the live streams, they're going to be out on Wednesdays, so you can also interact with us there. Yeah, stay tuned for those. And we outie.